Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell. It looks like someone has dropped off two vintage beige PC Tower computers here at the shop. You never know what people are going to drop off here, because this is one of the recycling centers for electronics here in Beaverton. So yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a look at these two vintage beige PC Tower computers and see what's inside. All right, let's take a look at the boards that I pulled out of that tall tower. First off, we got this video card. Appears to be a really nice video card. It's PCI. You know, a lot of people think that you have to go AGP to get, you know, good quality video for your gaming and stuff, but that's not true. Especially if you only have basically the video card in your PCI slot. If you're not using any other PCI cards, then you know the video card in the PCI slot can do just as well as the AGP slot. Oh yeah. Now granted, a card that's in the AGP slot, like an AGP graphics card, does about 10 to 15% better performance than the same card that's for the PCI bus, okay? But these cards are not bad. And one nice thing about PCI graphics cards is that there's Windows 98 drivers for these boards. So it is possible to build a Windows 98 computer and early Windows XP computer all in the same case, right? By using a board like this, or an AGP graphics card that has drivers for both Windows 98 and Windows XP. Now, as I said in a previous video, and if you have not watched that video, you should. You should not really mix the time periods. So if you want to have both, you know, if you play Windows 98 games and Windows XP games and DOS games and stuff like that, you really should build a separate computer for each time period, okay? But anyway, this appears to be a really nice graphics card. I don't know anything about it, but it appears like you can add expansion here. Matrox, I don't know what kind of board this is, but it's a PCI card. And it's got your standard VGA, and you got DVI. So this would be for your CRT monitor. This would be for your LCD, you know, your liquid crystal display. And then here is the back of the card. Right there. I don't know if you can read those labels or not. But that's the first board that came out of this tower computer. And I'm trying to think where I want to put these. I don't want them to get zapped by static electricity. So I think I'm going to put them right over here. Yeah. All right. The next board, this too is a PCI board. PCI board. What is that, a Rage? Uses the Rage. Well, let me take a look at that. 3D Rage Pro PCI is what this card is. And both of these graphics cards were in that computer. I don't know why they would do that, you know. Yeah, look at that. Both of these graphics cards are in that computer, and it looks like it has, you know, like the memory expansion, well, the optional memory installed, so it's got the full amount of memory. It's probably I would say 8 megabytes for this card. It's probably 4 megabytes and 4 megabytes for a total of 8 megabytes. Okay. And then there is the back of the card. Apparently there's more memory right there. But that's the back of the card. And here is the information, in case you want to try to read that. That's the information on that board. So, yeah. Okay. The next board that was in that larger tower computer is a Sound Blaster Live card. Now, like Victor Bart, I have a crap load of these. I'm serious. I'm a Sound Blaster Live poor. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of these, just like Victor Bart. I was watching his videos last night, and he cracks me up. So, Victor Bart, I'm giving you a shout out, dude. I like your channel. And those of you, if you have not watched his videos or visited his channel, you should. I think the name of his channel is Victor Bart. I think is the name of his channel. But yeah, he does all kinds of like vintage PC videos and stuff like that, you know. He's mainly into like socket 7 or socket 3, socket 7. Well, socket 3, socket 4, socket 5, socket 7. I think there was a socket 7. Pentium II, Pentium 3, you know. He mentioned he does not really like the Pentium 4, so yeah. But he did mention, I cracked up when he said this. I mean, he has a bunch of Sound Blaster Live cards, so I guess I do too. You know, but this is a great card. But I do not recommend this card for Windows 98. But this is a great card for Windows XP, or even Windows 7 for that matter. Yeah, this is a great card for Windows XP and Windows 7. As mentioned before, on the older sound cards that have speaker out, that's an amplified signal. Do not plug that. Do not plug your set of amplified computer speakers into that black jack. You will blow that amp. Same thing if you're plugging your sound output into like an integrated amplifier that has a nice set of bookshelf speakers hooked up to it. Do not plug this into that integrated amp or you will burn it up. You want to use line out, which is the green one right there. Okay? Just thought I'd mention that, but yeah, there's the, I think all of us have seen Sound Blaster Live cards, but I'll go ahead and show it anyway for those that haven't seen one of these. And then the last board that was in this large tower computer that was dropped off here at the shop, it appears to be a network card. Ethernet card. Appears to be really good quality. Yeah, this is a really nice card. Very high quality. I mean, just look at that, the way it's built, the way it's made. You know, very nice Ethernet card. Yeah. Nice card. I like it. I like this board. It's nice. And there's the back of it. Yeah. All right, when we come back from a quick commercial break, we'll take a look at what's inside the actual tower itself. Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell. Are you sick and tired of all the dumbasses in the checkout lines using debit and credit? Well, you can become one of the smart ones by switching to cash today. Yes, cash. It's still the best form of payment. It's easy, quick, and so convenient too. Cash. What's in your wallet? All right, let's look inside this vintage beige tower. It appears to be an antique tower case with an antique power supply. 300 watt. These are actually good power supplies, so don't throw these away. Just blow them out, recap them, put in a new fan. These are actually very good, high quality power supplies, and they're perfect for like the older computers up to slot 1. These are actually very good power supplies. The motherboard appears to be an Asus. It's a server motherboard with looks like two Pentium 3. Is that Pentium 3 or Pentium 2? Might be Pentium 2. Let me look. Two Pentium 2 processors. We'll take them out, take a closer look at them in a moment. But they appear to be two Pentium 2 processors with really high quality fans. So these are most likely 450s. Because I think the only Pentium 2 processors that were made like the Pentium 3s that allowed you to use the higher quality Pentium 3 coolers are the 450s, which is the fastest of the Pentium 2 processors. But yeah, we'll pull those out when we pull the board out. We'll take a good look at this board. Appears to have two, optical drives. We'll take a look at those. Hard drives have been taken out, of course. It has a disk drive. We'll take a look at that. So yeah, let's start taking parts out of here, shall we? Start taking parts out of here. Okay, so what I want to do first is actually what I want to do. Take that out first, get that out of the way, and then, okay, I gotta push that latch so I can pull that power supply out. Okay. That's coming from one of the drives. Okay, so let's pull that out. Okay, I need to actually pull this out. Be better if I had this like standing up, but I want you guys to see me do this, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. Yeah. Okay, so I got that out. I got that out. Okay. You know what? It'll make it a lot easier if I get all these damn ribbon cables out of here. I mean, oh my god, man. Look at this. Okay, so get that out of there and go ahead and pull this out. Yeah, I've got another one of these cases in the house that are like new. It's like in new condition. The front's not yelled or anything. It's a really nice case. And I'm doing a complete Pentium 3 build in it, and it's going to be a 4-part series, which is coming up real soon. I say within the next week or two. Also, I'll start that series of videos. This appears to be a SCSI cable. That's external SCSI there. It's got your SCSI connectors on the inside. So I'm going to hang on to this cable. This is SCSI wide. So hang on to that. There was SCSI hard drives in here. And I think I have SCSI wide cables. So, put that there. And we can start seeing what's actually in here. Now, this appears to be another SCSI cable. So those drives appear to be SCSI. They appear to be SCSI. Or like Victor Bart likes to say, SCSI. He cracks me up every time he says, instead of SCSI, he says SCSI. I'm not making fun of you, dude. I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny, dude. That's all. Okay, so that's the, hey, I can never have enough, floppy disk cables, Yeah. You never have enough of those. What else we got? Oh, you son of a bitch. Pull out of there, you bitch. Okay. Yeah, these are SCSI drives. Too bad. Is that a 50-pin SCSI or a SCSI wide? Oh, that's a 50-pin SCSI CD-ROM drive. So I wonder if I can use that for my Amiga computers. It's got termination right there. That's for the SCSI wide right there. So this other one might be SCSI wide. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man. So pull this cable out. I see light at the end of this tunnel, this cable tunnel, you know. But that's appears to be what, an 80-pin, like a high density. Is that IDE? I think that's just IDE. That's just IDE there, right there. Because that blue part, it goes into your motherboard. This goes into your slave drive. This goes into the master drive. So this is just, this drive is just IDE, which is fine, you know. That's fine. All right. What else we got? What other kind of goodies we got in there? Okay. So I got that unhooked. And that's, I think, SCSI wide. That might be the SCSI drive there. Let me see. That might actually be the SCSI. Yeah, that's SCSI. Or like Victor Bart likes to say, SCSI. He's so funny when he says SCSI. Okay, anyway. Hans, be nice. Don't be making fun of people. He's from another country and he doesn't... English is probably not his main language, so be nice. You know. Yeah, hey. I could never have enough 50-pin SCSI cables, because I use these with my Amiga computers. So, yeah. Put that there. And, let me see. Hey, we're starting to be able to see stuff now. Can you dig it? I can dig it. Let me see. I can dig it, man. Okay. Alrighty. And then this is a, can never get enough of these, CD audio cable. I prefer it when they got the little key thing or snap thing, but this okay because it's keyed. If you notice, one of the pins is missing, so and you know, red is right audio, white is left audio, and the black is ground. So yeah, black is ground. Okay, I'm starting to see light at the end of this tunnel. Actually, you can see the motherboard. Which is good. Well, shit. Come on out there, bitch. Come on out there. Come on out there, bitch. Hey, don't make me get jiggy with you. Okay, there's that. I don't want to get too rough because that's a very hard to find motherboard. A dual slot 1 motherboard. Yeah, anyway, there's that. That's a universal audio cable. It's got all the different connectors on it. But that too is an audio cable. That's what some of them look like. In case you've never seen a universal audio cable, that's what they look like. Okay, people. We'll just pull out of here now. I'm starting to see light at the end of the tunnel, man. Yeah, man. Okay, I think I pulled this out this way. It's got the termination on there. This is the SCSI cable. Yeah. Gonna pull this out. I don't know what the hell this thing is, but okay, anyway. Yeah, pull this out right here like this. Let me pull it out of the motherboard. Yeah, there's that. Okay, that's looking good. Go ahead and pull this out. Okay, go ahead and pull that out. Pull all this out. Okay. Alright, so there's that. Get all this pulled out. Yeah. I actually don't like these type of SCSI cables. I don't like these the way they're made. I never like these. I never like these. See how, like, in the middle, it's like, I don't know, I never like these kind of SCSI cables. See how it's coming apart right here or whatever? I don't know what the hell that stuff is on the outside, but I never liked these SCSI cables. These, to me, these cables suck. They do, they suck. SCSI wide cables. But there's the Terminator, in case you've never seen what it looks like. It just, oh shit. Okay, that's what it looks like. A SCSI wide Terminator. Right there, that's what it looks like. Yep. Okay. I'll probably throw this ribbon cable away. I don't know. I don't like these type of cables, so I'll probably throw that away. Alright, people, let's get this power supply out. Yeah, let's get this power supply out. What the hell is going on with this? I don't want this to get cut. Because this is what, it goes to the power switch on top of the case. Right? Yeah. Okay, so let's get this out of here. And yeah, we can start, I can start seeing the power supply, man. Look at that. I can see the power supply, people. I can actually see the power, I mean not power supply, the motherboard. I'm curious, I'm pretty sure these are going to be 450s. Pentium II 450s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure on that. I got this here. Pull that bitch through. And yeah, pull that bitch through like that. Okay, so we got all that out like that. Okay. So let's pull this power supply out, shall we? A nice Antec power supply. I actually have quite a few of these in stock. They're good power supplies. They're one of the best, especially during this time period. These are very good power supplies. Yeah, they're good power supplies. Yep, good power supplies, people. Okay. Let's pull this out of here, shall we? Yeah. And there it is, people. Where's that? Yeah. Antec power supply, in case you want to read the specifications on it. And it is temperature controlled. That means that the fan is not on all the time. It comes on according to the temperature, which is actually very nice. Look at that. There's the back of it, back of the power supply. Yeah, that's a nice power supply. It's an Antec. Love these Antec power supplies. They're very nice. Very nice. I like them. They're good. All right. All right, I pulled the drives out of the case off camera. And this here is the disk drive. Appears to be a TIAC. Yeah, TIAC disk drive. Too bad it doesn't have the jumpers. Some of the TX drives like this, they have jumper block right here, so that you can set this drive up for the Amiga or the Atari ST, you know. So this is strictly a PC drive. So yeah, which is fine. TX makes really good drives. They really do. They make good drives. I've never had problems with a TX drive. Now this one's not yellowed. It is a beige color like that. It's just dirty. I need to pop this cover off and wash it, rinse it, let it air dry overnight. And yeah, and then clean the heads with a head cleaning disc, and this drive should work just fine. There's the bottom of the drive in case you want to take a look at the circuit board. Okay. Next up, we got the IDE drive that was in here. Well, actually, it's a DVD drive. Yeah, it's an IDE DVD drive. I don't like these kind of drives where you sucks the CD in. I hate these kind of videos, so I'll probably be just throwing this one in the garbage. Yeah, I don't like these. Oh shit, is that a Pioneer drive? Oh no, I won't be throwing this one in the garbage. This is a Pioneer drive made in Japan. It's an early Pioneer drive. So no, this drive I will not be throwing in the garbage. Even though I don't like the type of drives that suck the CD in, that's a Pioneer drive. So even though I won't keep it, I'll sell this on eBay. I'll get good money for this drive. Oh yeah. I'll put this up for $129.95 and I will sell it. It will sell for that price. Yeah. These Pioneer drives, the early Pioneer drives like this that were made in Japan, these are like the best optical drives money could buy. You can't get any better than this. This is genuine Pioneer, made in Japan. This is a very nice optical drive. These are the best. I don't know why you guys choose LG or or HP or those other stupid goddamn drives that are shit. What, are you that broke you can't afford Pioneer CD-ROM drives or DVD-ROM drives or Blu-ray drives? They make the best optical drives. They really do. And yet none of you use Pioneer optical drives. Yeah. Okay, the last drive that was in this tower case is a SCSI drive. It's a 4X write CD-R SCSI drive, which is perfect for the Amiga. This is a perfect SCSI writer drive, a CD-ROM drive, a burner drive for the Amiga computer. And I do have, even as a built-in fan, to keep it nice and cool, I have the software that allows you to use a drive like this to burn Amiga CDs on your Amiga computer. So this drive here I will be keeping. I think this is a Plextor drive. If I'm not mistaken, it's a Plextor drive. Yeah. But I like the nice and slow 4X write speed. Nice and slow, high quality. This drive was probably made in Japan too. Yeah. Let me look. Made in Japan, yep. These early optical drives that were made in Japan, these are the best. These are the best. And nothing but the best in my Amiga 2000 computers. Oh yeah, man, that's a nice drive there. I'm saving this for one of my Amiga 2000s. Yeah, nice drive. All right, up next, we're going to take a look at the motherboard. I'm going to first take it out of the case off camera, and then when I come back, the motherboard will be sitting on top of my anti-static mat, and we'll take a look at it. We'll also remove the memory, see what kind of memory we have. We will remove both processors, including the coolers. We'll take the coolers off the Pentium II processors to see what speed we have, So yeah, That's coming up next. All right, here is the motherboard that came out of that PC tower case, the larger tower case, the antique tower case. It appears to be a dual slot 1 motherboard made by ASUS. Looks like it's ASUS. And the model number is P2B-DS. P2B-DS. And I was watching one of Victor Bart's videos, and he mentioned that this is a very good Pentium III motherboard, and it is his personal favorite. He has several of these, including one in the original box, which he showed on his channel. So yeah, I thought that's pretty cool. So now I have 2 of these boards, because I got one of these boards in a previous antique tower that somebody dropped off. It's basically the same build. It's just that the case is in a little bit nicer condition, so I'm doing a complete Pentium III build in that case. And like I said, that's going to be like probably a 4-video series that's coming out real soon, within the next week or 2. I'll start doing that series. But yeah, this is a nice motherboard. It handles 2 Pentium II or Pentium III processors. The capacitors appear to be really high quality. They're in good shape. It has what? The award bias, which is a good bias. It's got 4 DIMM slots. It's got 2 IDE connectors there, and floppy connector. It's got your normal 50-pin SCSI and your SCSI wide connectors. It's got AGP 1X and 2X. You can tell by where that little divider is right there. Okay, if it doesn't have that divider, and the divider's over here, that designates AGP 4X and 8X. Or if it doesn't have any of these in there, then that's a universal AGP slot, and that's what you really want. That means you can use any AGP video card, that you want. 4 PCI slots, that's good. 2 ISA slots, so this would be a great DOS computer and Windows 98 computer. A lot of your AGP cards, especially the later issue ones that have 32 megabytes of video memory and 64 megabytes of video memory, they have drivers for both Windows 98 and Windows XP. So this would be a good motherboard for like a Windows 98 computer and early, like 2001 through 2002 Windows XP computer. But like I said before, I don't recommend mixing up the time periods. If you're going to be running both software from Windows 98 and Windows XP, build 2 separate computers. Yeah. The reason for that is because a Windows 98 computer requires slower processor, and it has to be a single core. Also, the maximum amount of memory that you can install in a Windows 98 build is 512 megabytes. Yes, I know there's patches, but don't install those patches. Windows 98 becomes very unstable once you go past the 512 megabyte barrier, so just don't do it. Okay, whereas Windows XP requires much faster processors. I recommend at least an Intel Core 2 Duo processor running at between 2 to 3 gigahertz and at least 4 gigabytes of memory. That's for the 32-bit version of Windows XP. Okay, but so this would make an excellent Windows 98 build. This would be an excellent Windows 98 build. You'll only be able to utilize one processor, but what I'm wondering is if you can turn the processors on and off. That would be really good if you can do that, because then you could have like a 500 megahertz or a 600 megahertz Katami core, not Coppermine, Katami core Pentium III processor as your main processor, and that would be for your Windows 98 Second Edition side of things. And then you can plug in a Pentium II 300 with the unlocked multiplier into this slot here for your DOS games. Okay, and then you can just choose which Pentium 2 or Pentium 3 processors that you want to use. Like you use this one for Windows 98, you use that one for DOS. And that would work out really well if you can do that, but I'm not sure if you can do that. So if anyone knows if you can select your processor within Windows 98, because it'll only use one processor. It does not support dual processors. Please let me know in the comments if you have experience with this. But yeah, this is the motherboard. Very nice motherboard. I really like this motherboard. It has your standard printer port, 2 serial ports, like for a serial mouse. It has your standard, well, USB 1.0, just 2 of them there, 2 jacks. It's got your jacks for your PS2 mouse, PS2 keyboard, that's what's there. Now the person that installed this into that case, they made one big mistake. They used screws like that with those teeth. Never use screws like that. Never. Those teeth will dig into not only the metal of the case, but it will definitely dig into that fiberglass motherboard. Never use screws like this to bolt into your motherboard. And the person that did that is a dumbass. Clearly has his head up his ass. And it's the wrong size. You don't want to use a bolt that has that built-in washer. It's too big. Okay? Don't use those. The correct bolt that you want to use, let me get one. I think it's going to be, yeah. I got a bunch of these. So the correct bolt that you want to use for mounting a motherboard, okay, is one like that. It's got a smaller head, it's more round, more smooth, and also the edge on the underside is rounded, so it doesn't dig into the PCB, the fiberglass, and it's smooth underneath there, right? This is the type you want to use, right here. And that's what it looks like right there. It's a round head. That's the correct screw that you want to use right there. Now, if it's got the fine pitch threads, standoffs, then you want to use one, let me show you. You want to use one like, well, you want to use one like this. It's important that you use the correct screws when you're building one of these computers, okay? And it's smooth underneath. It doesn't have those teeth underneath, okay? Okay, so now let's take a look at the 2 Pentium II processors that were installed. These appear to be 350s. The Pentium II is one of my all-time favorite processors, along with the Pentium IIIs. Yeah, there's the label on top. It's a 350. And this appears to be a matched set. Appears to be a matched set. And here is the other one, right here. I just love that holographic sticker on there. So cool. Intel Pentium II processor. And then there's the top, right there, in case you want to try to read that. There's the back of it. Now this is actually a heat sink that is mounted onto the chip die. It's got a built-in heat sink, this metal piece right here, okay? these are the coolers that were mounted. This is one of the coolers right here. It appears to be heavy die-cast metal. It's not even aluminum. It's like die-cast metal. It's real thick and heavy. And it's got the fan on there, right? And there's the back. And it's got these like clips that clip in those 4 slots that you saw on the metal part of the Pentium IIs. Those slip in, and then this, this lever right here, you push it over like that, and it locks those in place. So yeah, these are pretty good coolers. I'd recommend these for a Pentium II processor over the ones where you screw in the 4 screws. I never liked those. But these here are pretty good for the Pentium II. I'll hang on to these. I'll clean it up, probably clean up the fan, or maybe even replace the fan with a new one, right? And then this is the other cooler here. This is a little bit higher quality. It's got 2 fans, nice thick aluminum heatsink. It's got dual fans, 2 fans. It too has the clips, and it's got the thermal paste right there. I'll probably just wipe that off, put new thermal paste on before I clip this back on. But yeah, this is a good cooler. And the fans appear to be in good shape. They don't appear to be locked up or anything like that. So yeah, this is a really nice cooler right here. It's a very nice cooler. All right. Okay. I'm just putting these coolers away. I don't want anything to happen to them. Because usually when you buy the Pentium II, Pentium III processors off of eBay or Amazon, the sellers, they remove the coolers and they sell their coolers separate. It appears to have 4 sticks of 128 megabyte SD RAM. These are not DDR, they're SD RAM. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chips. So apparently the SD RAM does not need parity, or does not do parity, unless that's your parity chip there. But the way you can tell SD RAM from the early DDR RAM is that it has an extra slot here. An extra notch right there, which DDR does not have. And also, I think this is moved over a little bit on DDR. So yeah, but this has 4 sticks of SD RAM, each stick at 128 megabytes. Well, that's it for part 1 of this video. Stay tuned for part 2, where we take a look at that other, the smaller PC tower, that vintage beige PC tower that someone dropped off here at the shop. We'll take a look at it, take a look at the boards and the motherboard and all that. I believe that one is a socket 3 motherboard, so I'm really looking forward to doing that video. And I did take a peek inside. It does appear to have an an Intel overdrive chip, so we'll take a look at that. Yeah, it has a really nice case. That beige case is really nice. I like the way it looks, so yeah. But anyway, we'll be taking a look at all that in part 2 of this video. My name is Hans George Campbell, and I'll see you then.